Hello there, it's William here, and this is my Patreon page, and I want to show you everything that unlocks when you become a patron. So I'm going to just go a quick look, and then later on the video I'm going to go with more details about each product. So here's the Patreon page, and those posts you can't see unless you become a patron. And you can see here on the top, you have 20 plugins, 14 applications, 6 sample collections, 5 effects, 5 synths, and 4 sampler plugins, 2 digital audio workstation, mastering effects, reverb, drum machine, looper, music, tool, and 1 game. I also did a 1 game. So let's go very quickly here on the whole list. So we have the music collection, reverb and MD effects collection, audio term, retro gold collection. This is a very large collection of sounds. The Atmos sound collection, Wusik Audio Connect, which is a plugin that allows you to run more sound devices into your DAW. Wusik Drum Sequencer 1, DRS1. Wusik ZR is a synth, and the other is a drum sequencer, drum machine. Wusik XV Reverb, which is a convolutional reverb with 4 vectors mixing, and it's very great reverb with a very good impulse library. Wusik Limiter is a mastering plugin. Wusik Eve version 5, which is a great plugin for playing back samples, and it has a one page interface. Wusik 8008, which is a modular synthesizer with, as it says, wave sequences, sample playback, custom filter effects, and more. Wusik Station X, which is Wusik Station version 10, which has a nice new resizable interface, and this is the latest version. Wusik Station ST8, which is based on the idea of those old Atari ST computers, so it's 8-bit samples, but with 64-bit internal processing, and it does wave morphing, and it has a drum machine, and it's a great way to play back samples. Wusik Station STX, which is a digital audio workstation, but it's very different, nothing like anything you have seen before. Wusik SQ200, which is also a digital audio workstation, but it has a more hardware sequencer format in mind. Wusik Rack, which is for recording samples and playing back samples in a very easy way. Wusik Delay, which comes with delay 1 and delay 0, is a delay plugin. Wusik MIDI Tools, which comes with the Wusik MIDI and Wusik Melody. I'm going to talk about more later on. Wusik Mastering, which is a audio spectrum analyzer plus EQ mastering plugin. Let's load more. Wusik GTX, which is a gate effect, but it has a very different way of working. Wusik D-Looper, which is a synth looper type of synth plugin. Wusik Display, which is great to add because it's a plugin that allows you to show text, images, charts, lyrics, especially for live presentations. Wusik PR82, this is a very complex performance tool, oriented more for using with touch screens. Wusik SP22 is also a sample recording tool, but it's much more easier to use compared to the Wusik rack. Drum Machines Collection, which are sounds, Emu Proteus, Sounds 2, and Sonic Mirage, Sounds 2, Drum Collections, another set of sounds, Amiga Sound Collection, Wusik TL1, which is an application that allows you to organize your plugins so it shows in a full screen window, and when you click on a plugin image, it can trigger a MIDI note or MIDI controller. I use this with Studio One to launch plugins inside Studio One. Wusik Knock Maker is for, well, creating knobs. Wusik P2000 is as it says, a MIDI notes processor plugin chainer. So it allows you to chain plugins, but it also has more options like arpeggiator, note octave, and stuff like that. The AXS Retro Tracker, created by Resolution, and the game that I created, and also all my GitHub open source stuff for Beat 707, and also a few stuff for Wusik. So let's talk about the main events. So Wusik Audio Connect is a great tool. So when you launch it as a plugin, you can select the audio type and the device that you want to input sound into your DAW, in case you have a DAW that doesn't have a multi-audio device feature. Wusik Drum Sequencer 1 is a great drum machine. It has very advanced options, especially like random stuff. It comes with 8 tracks plus one accent track, 64 steps, and there's a lot of option for this. You really have to check the YouTube video for better details, because it's very complex. Wusik ZR is a different type of synth. It uses single cycle wave playback with hyper oversample, and it has a different sound to it. The reverb, Wusik XV reverb, which allows you to load multiple convolution reverbs, pre one, and then A, B, C, D, and a post one, and then you can use a vector type of mixing and use LFOs to do the mixing, or you can just click and drag to do the mixing. And it has a lot of convolution files. Wusik limiter is a master limiter with look ahead code. This one gets you a very good sound for mastering. Wusik Eve has a lot of options in a single window interface, so everything is in this window. There is no extra windows. Then Wusik 8008, this one is a beast. It has a lot of options and it's fully modular, but it's also easy to use because the audio path already connects stuff that you add without having to use cables. So it's much easier to use compared to other modular synth systems. Wusik Station X, which is Wusik Station 10, it has a new interface with a screwable, I think is the name, window. So as you add more layers and stuff, it's going to be adding to the screw area. But you also have this extra area where you have a more condensed look at each layer. Wusik Station ST8, which I talked before, is based on the old Atari ST computers, so it has a retro interface. It does wave sequencing with the single cycle uh, steps, just like Wusik ZR, but in this case, the way it works is a bit different, and the interface also is very different, and it also has a drum machine in a very MC 505 style, and also have a sample playback layers. So you have the synth layers, the sample layers, and the drum layer. The STX, which is my digital audio workstation, DAW, and it's very different because it uses a lot of keyboard shortcuts and a lot of overlaying stuff on the screen. So it feels like you are running an Amiga demo scene, and it's very different. You have to check it out to understand. And the SQ200 is my older DAW. It has a hardware look to it. Then I have the Wusik rack, the delay with MIDI tool, the mastering, the GTX, the looper is a great looper because you can load ACID files and set each of the slices that you want to use, or you can create your own slices with any regular WAV file, and it comes with great presets. Let me see what else. PR82 is also very interesting because you can use it to trigger stuff, and you can arrange this on the screen in any way you want. You can load WAV and MP3 files and loop internally. So it's going to show that it's looping a file. Then you have the other drum collections, the TL1, which allows you to show several of your plugins, and then when you click on a plugin name or image, it's going to trigger an MIDI note or controller, and then you have your DAW to control whatever has to do with that. And those are the main basic things. Soon I'll be adding more, so you can see that's a lot of stuff already. So 20 plugins, 14 applications, 5 scenes, 5 effects, 2 DAWs, mastering, reverb, a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, that's it. Become a patron today and you get access to all this and soon more. Thanks for watching.